So this moving average is applied to daily data. Sometimes we do financial analysis. We don't just focus on daily frequency. We sometimes look at monthly frequency. For example, we focus on the price at the end of each month. Okay, and we can also calculate the moving average that calculate the average over the past, say, 12 months. We only look at the closing price at the end of each month in the prior 12 months and take the average. Okay. When we move to the next month, again, we're standing at the end of the month and look back 12 months and only take the price at the end of each month and calculate the average. Okay. So to focus on those trading days at the end of each month, we need to introduce a new calculated column into this historical daily table. Okay, so this new data field is going to work as a marker. All right, so again, because it's a calculated column, it has all the rows. All right, so each row is just a particular trading day. So if that trading day is the last trading day of a month, then this calculated column is going to take a value of 1 for that row. Okay, if the trading day is not the last trading day of the month, then that calculated column is going to take a value of 0 for that row. Okay, so that calculated column is only going to take two possible values, 0 or 1. Okay, 1 is an indicator that this row is the last trading day of a month. Okay, 0 indicates that this row is a trading day that's not the last trading day of a month. Okay, so to do that, we can just go to the new column, click on that, and we introduce this new column. We just paste my DAX code here. So what this definition is doing is basically I use the window function. Okay, so for each row in this historical daily table, I'm going to retrieve a block of rows which belong to the same month as this current row. All right. Then I'm going to check the last trading day of this month. Okay, and then I compare the date of this current row with the last trading day of the month. If they are the same, then I'm going to mark this current row as equal to 1. Okay, I'm going to basically give a value of 1 to this calculated column. All right. Otherwise, if this row, the day of this row is different from the last trading day of the month, then I'll just assign a value of 0 to this calculated column. So basically, each row of this calculated column is going to indicate whether the day of this current row is the last trading day of the month or not. If it is, then this calculated column will take a value of 1. If it is not, then it's going to take a value of 0. So let's discuss this calculated column in more details. So first step, we're using the window function. And the window function is going to rearrange this original data set of historical daily in the following format. So first of all, the data is going to be partitioned by the stock symbol and the year month. So a stock in a particular year month is going to be a particular partition. For example, Apple in March 2023. Okay, next partition is going to be Apple April 2023. So each partition is determined by a particular stock on in a particular year month. Then within each partition, we're going to have the trading dates ordered ascendingly. Okay, so we'll have again Apple March 2023. That's one partition. Then within that partition, we have March 1st, 2023, March 2nd, 2023, all the way down to the last trading day in March 2023. Okay, so that's how the historical daily table is going to be rearranged before the window function starts to process the data. So after the rearrangement or sorting of the historical daily table, then window function is going to look at the current row context, because again, this column EoM1 the calculate column always have a row context. Each row of this column needs to be calculated based on the information on the current row. Okay, so based on the current row, if for example, if we're looking at the row which is say March 9th, 2023 for Apple. Okay, so this tells window function that the current partition is going to be related to Apple in March 2023. Okay, so based on the current partition, the window function is going to take the following block of rows based on these 4 arguments at the beginning. All right, so ABS stands for absolute position. So here we're taking a block of rows based on their absolute positions. We're going to take, starting from the very first row in the current partition, all the way to the very last one. So -1 stands for the very last row in the current partition. All right, so basically the window function is going to take the entire current partition. Okay, all the rows related to all the rows related to Apple in March 2023 is going to be taken out and stored in this variable called window month. So next, we're going to use this maxx function to work on this window month table. Again, the window month table is basically all the rows related to the current partition. In our example, Apple stocks trading days in March 2023. Okay, so the max function is basically going to work on this table row by row. For each row, the function is going to record the date for that row, and eventually after scanning all the rows in this window month function, in the window month table, the maxx function is going to take the maximum of the date. Okay, and recall this window month table basically contains all the trading days in March 2023 for Apple. So the largest or the maximum date is going to be just the last trading day in March 2023 for Apple. Okay, so this is going to be the output of this maxx function. In this second step, basically we're going to compare the date of the current row. Okay, again using our previous example, if we're looking at March 9th, 2023, we're going to compare this March 9th, 2023 with the last trading day in March 2023, which is, suppose it's March 31st, okay, 2023. If these two are equal, if the current row is indeed the last trading day of March 2023, then we're going to assign value 1 to this calculated column, okay? Otherwise, if the current date is not equal to the last trading day of March 2023, then we're going to assign a value of 0 for this calculated column. Okay, so pretty much what we're doing is we just compare the current date on the current row with the last trading date of the same month. Okay, if they're equal, then if the current date turns out to be the same as the last trading day of the month, then this column called EoM1 is going to take a value of 1. If, however, the current date does not equal to the last trading day of the month, in this case, this calculate column is going to take the value of 0. Okay, so basically this calculate column works as a marker to indicate which row is the last trading day of the month. All those rows whose value for this column equals 1 are those last trading days of a month. All the other rows whose value for this column actually equals 0, then they're not the last trading day of the month.